What happens when some of the sharpest comic minds in Hollywood step fully into horror? Are we witnessing the next genre evolution? What's good, everybody? I'm Travis, and this is the Final Cut, your daily post in horror. It is Friday, February 20th. We're wrapping up the week with some major casting moves, franchise updates, and another wave of comedy to horror crossovers that might actually shape the future of the genre. Let's get into it. Before we dive in, shout out to this week's sponsors as always. Fanatical's Lunar New Year sale is still alive. Thousands of games discounted, such as Dark Souls Remastered, Fallout 4 Game of the Year Edition, and Resident Evil Requiem. Pre-orders are still open. GRUV has the updated Halloween Trilogy 4K Steelbook available right now. And if you're building your physical horror shelf, this is a must. Appreciate everyone supporting through those links. It keeps the show moving. Now, let's talk horror. First up, Bill Hader is officially stepping into feature horror. He's writing, directing, and starring in They Know for MRC. The premise, he plays a divorced father who becomes increasingly suspicious that his ex-wife's new partner is exerting a strange influence over their children. What starts as a paranoia reportedly spirals into something much darker. And here's what's interesting. It's not really random. From Jordan Peele to Zach Krieger, even indie voices like Curry Barker, we're seeing comedians pivot into horror with real control over tone. And if you watched Barry, you already know Hader understands psychological dread, moral collapse, and tonal whiplash. Domestic horror, blended families, influence, suspicion inside intimate spaces. That's fertile ground. Production begins this spring in Los Angeles, and if Hader nails this, we might be watching the arrival of another serious genre voice. My question for you guys, is comedy now the most reliable pipeline into great horror storytelling? Let me know your answers in the comments ahead. Next up, Tiffany Haddish and Rosario Dawson are headlining a new horror thriller called The Lesson. The setup, a devoted teacher dies and former students begin experiencing disturbing supernatural events tied to buried secrets and resolved and unresolved guilt. Classic bones, guilt horror, consequences that don't stay buried or quiet. But what makes this interesting is the casting. Haddish says it's not just horror, it's about choices and consequences. Dawson is leaning into the psychological weight of it. This is another pivot moment, established performers stepping deeper into character-driven dread. What did I tell you guys last night? Expect every A-list actor to be involved in horror for the next 5 to 6 years. The real question becomes, how does first-time director Jojo Ryder shape the tension? Will this lean art house, psychological, or supernatural escalation? Production begins later this year in Los Angeles, and I'll ask you this. Do you prefer your horror rooted in guilt and consequence, or external threat and chaos? Let me know your answers in the comments ahead. And finally, really, this is just a fun little news tablet. The Scary Movie 6 trailer will debut in theaters attached to Scream 7 beginning February 27th. You guys know the drill. Anna Faris is back. Regina Hall is back. Marlon Wayans is back. Officer Doofy is back. That meta connection is kind of poetic. Scream revitalized horror in the 90s, and Scary Movie spoofed it and made almost $300 million worldwide. Now, both franchises return at the same time. We've talked a lot about how horror cycles on this show, but parody returning alongside legacy horror, that's interesting timing. So here's the question. Does parody strengthen horror or does it dilute it? Let me know your answers and thoughts in the comments ahead, and I do read them. Today's take. This week feels like a theme. Comedians moving into horror, dramatic actors stepping into psychological dread, legacy franchises colliding with parody. There's something happening in genre right now. It's not just monsters and gore, it's influence. Family dynamics, guilt, paranoia, cultural commentary. Horror is absorbing everything. And the smartest filmmakers understand tension, not just spectacle. That's why I'm watching Bill Hader very closely. Head over to Spotify and answer today's poll. Which project are you most curious about? They Know, The Lesson, Scary Movie 6, or none of the above? And please let me know why. If you got breaking horror news, tips, festival updates, always DM us at HMUNCUT, and we may feature it right here on the show. And don't forget to answer that Spotify poll. That's it for Friday's episode of The Final Cut, your daily post in horror. I'm Travis. You guys know the drill. Hit that like, subscribe, let people know about the show. Make sure they tune in, keep the discussion rolling. We'll see you guys next week with more news, more updates, some news. We got Slam Dance going on right now. I just watched this amazing film called Santa Zeta. Is so great. I cannot wait for so many people to see this film. So make sure you guys are checking out all the reviews and updates on the website. We got so much South by Southwest news coming in. I don't even have time to sleep. So you guys know the drill. We'll see you next week. Until then, keep the lights on.